Hello everyone. Today we are going to see yet another session in engineering mechanics. I have been doing series of videos in engineering mechanics subject in which I have completed the first chapter, that is principles of mechanics and force systems. After that we are seeing the second chapter, that is beams and supports. We have discussed what are beams, what are supports, what are different types of beams and different types of supports, and we have seen how to solve the problems or find the reactions of a cantilever beam, a simply supported beam, with different types of combination till now. So in our seventh session in beams and supports chapter, we will be seeing some problems in simply supported beam with combination of some loads, and then we will move on to overhang beams. We have seen what are the different types of beams, that is cantilever beam, simply supported beam, overhang beam, fixed beams, continuous beams, propped cantilever, all these things. And we have also discussed that only first three types of beams can be solved by our equilibrium equations. That is, the equilibrium equation, sum of the vertical forces is equal to 0 and sum of the horizontal forces is equal to 0 and sum of the moments at that point is equal to 0. These three equilibrium conditions we have seen. But in case of beams, we use only two equilibrium conditions, that is sigma Fv is equal to 0 and sigma m is equal to 0, and the horizontal forces are not applied on any beam. Therefore, there is no question of any horizontal reaction. Hence, we don't use the sigma sigma Fh, that is sum of the horizontal forces is equal to 0. That equilibrium condition is no way useful to us. So the equilibrium conditions which we use are sigma V is equal to 0, or sometimes we say sigma Fv is equal to 0, that is sigma sum of the forces which are vertical, sigma Fv is equal to 0 and sigma m is equal to 0. These two equilibrium conditions are handy in finding out the reactions of a cantilever beam, a simply supported beam, and also an overhang beam. They are not useful in case of the statically indeterminate beams like propped cantilever, continuous beams, or fixed beams, in which the unknowns are more than the number of equations which are available with us, that is the two equilibrium equations. So when more than two unknowns are there, we cannot solve by using the static equilibrium conditions. We have to go for some other elastic models to solve these problems called as statically indeterminate beams or redundant beams. So we have done some problems in simply supported beams using point loads and combination of point loads, and also we have seen the problems with some full UDL, that is when we apply full uniformly distributed load over the simply supported beam. We have discussed that the simply supported beam has two reactions without any moments, that is the moments are not produced in simply supported beam because the two ends of the beam are not restrained against rotation. They are only restrained against the vertical translation. Therefore, the vertical reactions are produced. Therefore, the sum of the vertical forces should be equal to 0 to make the beam in the equilibrium condition, or to bring the beam to equilibrium condition, or to be in the state of stable. To be in the state of stability, that is the beam to be stable, the horizontal forces, vertical forces and moment should be equal to 0. That is what we call it as equilibrium condition. We have seen the beam with UDL. When full UDL is there, the entire load will be W kilonewton per meter. That is, the intensity of loading will be given for uniformly distributed load. Then to get the total load, we are multiplying that intensity into the whatever distance it is applied on. Then we will get the total load W is equal to intensity of load small w kn per meter into some L meters. Then we will get the total load as W into L. And also to get the moments using uniformly distributed load, we have discussed that the uniformly distributed load acts as like a point load which is applied at the center of the load. So instead of UDL, we can assume it to be replaced by an equivalent point load of WL acting at the center of application of the UDL. So that we have seen in the earlier classes, and also we have seen what are the point load, that is point load, how it will be distributed. We have seen that when point load is applied at some eccentric distance, then the ratio of the distribution of the load will be equal to the proportion to the opposite side or the other side of the span, other side, the distance on the other side of the span. That is, if A and B are two portions of distances, if the distance of loading is at a distance A from left support, then the ratio of RB, that reaction at B, will be to the proportion of A. Similarly, RA will be in the proportions of B. So RA will be equal to W into B by L, and RB is equal to W into A by L. That is how the loads will be distributed. If it is at the center, that is the load is symmetrical, automatically W A is equal to B, then that will become W A by L and also W A by L. That means it will be WL by 2. That is half of the load. Now we will see some example with some different combinations of loads, and then we will move on to the next topic, that is overhang beams. In this example, I have taken some 2-point loads. One is at center, the other is placed eccentrically. Also, I have taken some UDL which is also eccentric with respect to the entire length of the beam. So let us go into the problem. A SSB, a simply supported beam of 8 meters length, is loaded with 1. A point load at 1.5 meters from the left support. That is, a point load of 100 kilonewtons is placed at 1.5 meters from the left support, and a UDL is applied of 60 kilonewton per meter for a length of 2 meters, starting from 3 meters from the left support, and another point load of 80 kilonewtons is at a distance of 7 meters from the left support. That determines the support reaction. We have considered all the supports from left side. So here we have seen we have different 100 kilonewtons, a 60 kilonewtons, and 80 kilonewton load. Therefore, we have to find the reaction, that is Ra and Rb. Since we are only having Ra and Rb, we do not have any moment at A and moment at B because the beam being simply supported at simple support, there cannot be any moments because it does not restrain any turning or any rotation. Therefore, the total load on the beam will be equal to 100 kilonewtons plus 80 plus 60 into 2, that is 120. So that is total is 300 kilonewtons. Then we use the equilibrium condition, sigma Fv and sigma L is equal to 0. So 100, 80 and 120 are acting. Therefore, the total load is 300. Therefore, the entire load is supported by Ra and Rb. That is why the loads coming from top is equal to loads coming from bottom. That is the negative loads. That is the upward forces is equal to downward forces for equilibrium condition. Therefore, Ra plus Rb is equal to 300. Similarly, there are 5 moments produced by 3 loads and 2 reactions. Therefore, we have found that what are the reactions are Ra 100, 120, 80 and Rb at a distance of 0, 1.5 meters, 3 plus 2.2 by 2 and 7 meters respectively. If you see the figure, the 100 load is at a distance of 1.5 kilometers. This 60 into 2 UDL 120 is acting at center of the UDL. That is why it is 3 plus 2 by 2, and the third load 80 is at a distance of 3 plus 2 plus 2 7 meters. Therefore, we have given it as 7 meters distance respectively. Therefore, taking moments at A, we will get 100 into 1.5, that is 100 kilonewtons acting at 1.5 meters from A. 120, that is 60 into 2 UDL 120 into 3 plus 2 by 2, that is 4 meters from the support. The point of action of load is at 4 meters. Similarly, for point load of 80, it is away from the support at a distance of 7 meters. Therefore, 100 into 1.5 plus 120 into 4 plus 80 into 7 minus Rb into 8. Rb is at a distance of 8 meters. That is, total length of the beam is 8 meters. So, the distance of Rb is 8 meters from Ra. Therefore, Rb 100 into 15, 150 plus this is 480, 630 plus this is 560. 630 plus 560 is 1190. So, Rb into 8 is equal to 1190. Rb is equal to 1190 by 8, that is 148.75. Therefore, since Ra plus Rb is equal to 300, Ra is equal to 300 minus 148.75, that is 151.25 kilometers. Therefore, we found the reactions Ra is 151.25 and Rb is 148.75. This is how we are doing the problems on simply supported beams with point loads, with UDL and a combination of these loads. So several examples can be taken for different combinations of loads. Either they may be 2 or 3 point loads, 2 or 3 UDLs loaded for only partial loading or full on the beam, or any combination we can take. So numerous problems on these numerical examples can be taken because we can have several combinations, infinite number of combinations. So we can do any number of problems. But once we are comfortable with how the loads are calculated, how the distances are calculated, and therefore the moments are calculated, that will be very easy to solve the problems in simply supported beams. Then after the simply supported beams, then we have the next type of beam, that is the overhanging beam, or in some textbooks it is given as overhang beam or overhanging beam. There is nothing wrong in using any of the wordings. That is, either overhang beam or overhanging beam, it means the same. I prefer overhang beams. So This term overhang or overhanging is synonymously used. We have seen earlier when I introduced what are different types of beams. We have seen a overhang beam is beam which projects beyond the support. That is, the support is the entire length is, if the entire length is L, the distance between supports will be less than L by L. That is, they are nearer, the supports are nearer. That means they are inside the beam. That is, beam is extending beyond the supports. That extension may be on one side or both sides. That is, the overhang beam can be overhang on only one side, or it is overhanging on two sides. That is, when one end is rested on one support and the other end is projecting beyond another support, then it will be overhang on one side. If both the ends of the beams are projecting beyond two supports, then they are called as two overhanging beams on both sides. It is a special case of simply supported beam. It is nothing but a simply supported beam with some extended lengths beyond the supports. So it becomes a special case of simply supported beam. The analysis of this type of beams will be similar to that of our simply supported beams. There is no much difference, but a little difference is that the moments earlier we have seen the moments which are produced due to the applied loads are only one type, that is either clockwise or anti-clockwise, depending upon which side they are. As per our notation, I have taken all the loads on the from the right side of the A support A. Therefore, all my moments produced by the forces which are coming from top or which are acting downwards are clockwise moments. Here we may get either clockwise or anti-clockwise depending on which side of the support they are. So there is possibility of getting both anti-clockwise and clockwise moments from the applied loads. From the applied loads we can get both the clockwise and anti-clockwise movements. Therefore, we have to be very careful while adding them and assigning them the proper sign. So, let us see a overhang beam. I am taking in the first case a beam with overhang on one side. That is, only one side of the beam is overhanging. That is, it is shooting off from the beyond the right support, that is at B. So at A the beam is the end of the beam is supported on A. There is no projection or protrusion beyond the A. Only at B the beam is extending beyond B up to C. Therefore, the total length of the beam is AC. The distance between two beams is distance between A and B. So here we have two spans AB and BC. That is, the entire length L is divided into two spans, that is D1 and D2. Here let us see what are the reactions at RA and RB in case of a load which is in the portion BC. Earlier this portion BC was not there. We had only the beam up to A to B, that is between the supports, and all loads were placed between A and B, whether may it be point load or UDL or any combinations. Those loads were restricted to the distance from A to B. Now the beam is from A to C, that BC portion is projecting away from B. Therefore, we have some other load which is placed in the portion which is projecting away from the support B. Then let us consider this example. Just here there are some forces, that is a force between the simple supports A and B, that is W1, and another force at the end of the beam which is projecting out of B at C W2. So there are two forces and also two supports. Anyhow, it is our knowledge that whenever there are some applied loads, the loads are born or they are the reactions will be at two supports. Only two supports have to bear that load. So these loads are now the entire load is W1 plus W2. This load should be carried by these two supports, that is A and B. Therefore, we can straight away say that RA plus RB is equal to W1 plus W2 in any case. Though if we take the equilibrium condition sigma Fv is equal to 0 or not, by our observation itself we can say that these two loads W1 and W2 should be carried by RA and RB. There is no other way, because there is no other support. We have two supports, only these supports have to carry the loads W1 plus W2. So consider a beam of total length L. The length is total L. Distance between the two simple supports is D1. That is, the distance between A and B is D1, and length of overhang is D2. This length is D2 and this distance is D1. The loads are W1 and W2 at the middle of the supports and at the end of the overhang respectively. That is, W1 is at D1 by 2 and W2 is at a distance of D2 from left support or at a distance of L, the total distance from the left support. So let us start the solution. The solution will be simple. We have to find the reactions. For that we need to find the sum of the reactions and sum of the moments. So therefore we use two equilibrium conditions to determine the reactions. Sigma Fv is equal to 0 and sigma m is equal to 0. The total load on the beam is W1 plus W2. As we see, there is no other load, only two loads are there on the beam, W1 and W2. So therefore we will find the reactions. 2 point loads W1 and W2 kilonewtons are acting downwards and two supports are acting upwards. Therefore, from our equilibrium equation, that is sigma Fv is equal to 0, we will take W1 plus W2, that is the loads coming from top are treated as plus and loads which are going up are treated as negative. Therefore W1 plus W2 is equal to minus Ra minus Rb. That is, sum of the loads which are coming down is equal to sum of the loads which are going up. Ra plus Rb is equal to W1 plus W2. Then, since there are four forces, that is two applied loads and two internal reactions. That is, Ra and Rb are two reactions and W1 and W2 are two forces which are applied on the beam. So they are acting at four different places. That is, two reaction forces are acting at two supports, and two applied forces are acting at the point where they are applied. Since there are four forces, RA, W1, RB and RA, W1, RB and W2. These are four forces which are acting at distances. RA is at 0, that is we are taking the moment at point A, that is therefore reaction A is occurring at point A. The distance between the reaction and the point is 0, that is RA and A are acting at the same point A, that is RA is occurring at A, therefore there cannot be any distance, therefore the distance will be 0. W1 is acting at D1 by 2 and RB at D1 and W2 is acting at L, that is if you see at the figure, this RA is at the center of the span, that is D1 by 2. RB is at the span between the span AB, that is why RB into D1, and W is acting at D1 plus D2 are the total length L. Therefore the moment M will be like this. W1 and W2 are towards the right of the beam. So W1 is at the end, that is it is producing a clockwise movement. W1 which is at the intermediate point, it is also producing a clockwise movement, and RB is here, it is producing anti-clockwise movement. That is why RB is producing an anti-clockwise movement. If you observe the figure, this RB is pushing this beam up and therefore it is rotating in the anti-clockwise direction. W1 is pushing it downwards, that is in the clockwise direction. W2 is also rotating it in the clockwise direction. Therefore W1 and W2 are producing clockwise movements, and RB is producing a anti-clockwise movement. Therefore if we go to the values, that is W1 into D1 by 2 minus RB into D1 plus W2 into L is equal to 0. So RB is equal to RB into D1 is equal to, by rearranging the terms, we are getting RB into D1 is equal to W1 D1 by 2 plus W2 into L. RB is equal to W1 D1 by 2 plus WL by D1. This is the value of RB. So from the first equation, we know RB is equal to RA plus RB is equal to W1 plus W2. Therefore, RA is equal to W1 plus W2 minus RB. Here RB is equal to this value. So therefore, RA is equal to W1 plus W2 minus W1 D1 by 2 minus W2 L by D1. So this is how we will calculate RA and RB. So let us instead of some values, the variables W, D1, D2 and L, let us give them some values so that the problem will become more clearer. Instead of some variables, we will go for some constants. So here the same type of problem I have taken, but I have given the numerical values for this. That is, the load is given, the W1, the load W1, instead of W1 it is 100 kilonewtons, and W2 is only 20 kilonewtons, and the total span of AB is 4 meters, BC is 1 meter. This is only the projection. As we know, the generally in overhanging beam, the projection will not be very long, because the moment produced will be very high when we load the end of the free end of the beam. There will be a large moment produced. Therefore the fixing moment should be very high. To get the more higher fixing value, the beam will be very unstable. That is, it will break very easily. Therefore we try to decrease the moment produced at the fixity or at the simple support, because once the moment is more, it will make the beam unstable. Therefore I have taken only a projection of 1 meter, that is 4 meters is the total length. The projection will be only 1 meter, and also the moment is 20 kilonewtons. Practically this is how they are done. Otherwise, here giving some 100 or 200 kilonewtons load for numerical example, for example purpose, it may serve, but actually it cannot be given such a higher value. So the loads are 100 kilonewtons and 20 kilonewtons at the middle of the supports and at the end of the overhang respectively. So we will go for solution. We use the two equilibrium conditions to determine the reaction. Sigma Fv is equal to 0 and sigma m is equal to 0. Therefore, if you look at the beam, the total applied load is 100 plus 20, that is 120 kilonewtons. This 120 kilonewtons load has to be carried by Ra and Rb. Therefore, taking sigma Fv, that is from the equilibrium condition, sigma Fv is equal to 0, W1 plus W2 minus Ra minus Rb is equal to 0. That is, Ra plus Rb is equal to 120. This gives us the first equation. That is, Ra plus Rb, the total reaction from downwards is equal to the applied load from the upwards. So I have been repeating this for a long time, because we have to understand it clearly, that whenever we do, immediately our mind should have that idea that the sum of downward forces is equal to sum of upward forces. That is, sum of reaction should be equal to the sum of applied loads. So there is no need to, once we are conversant with this concept, there is no need to apply, that is sigma Fv is equal to 0 and do all these steps. We need not put all these steps. Simply by saying that upward forces is equal to downward forces, we say Ra plus Rb is equal to 100 plus 20, 120. There are four moments out of 4 reactions. We have 4 reactions, Ra and Rb, that is 2 reactions, and another 2 forces which are applied, 120 kilonewtons, 120 kilonewtons separately. Therefore, we are calculating moment at point A. Our moment, we are taking moment at point A. Therefore, from A, the distances of loads are calculated. We know moment is force into the perpendicular distance between the point where we are calculating and the point where the load is applied. So now the point is A. So every load is, the distance of every load is calculated with respect to A. Therefore, taking sigma m is equal to 0 at A, W1 and W2 produce clockwise movements, Rb produces anti-clockwise movement. Therefore, 100 into 2, that is, if you look at the figure, this 100 is at a distance of 2 from A, therefore 100 into 2. Similarly, RB is acting at 4 meters in an anti-clockwise direction. And the RB reaction B is producing anti-clockwise movement at A. 100 is producing a clockwise movement at A. Similarly, 120 is producing a clockwise movement at A. So therefore, we take only moments of 3 loads. Since RA is at A, the moment produced by RA at A will be automatically 0. So once we have done so many problems, we are clear that there won't be any moment due to RA at A. So we are not considering. Instead of wasting our energy and our time on the thing which is equal to 0, we never consider in any textbook that reaction is not considered, because RA into 0 will give you 0, and we know quite well that the moment will be 0. So we are not considering the term RA for finding the moments. That is why here we have seen first force into 2 minus RB into 4. RB is at a distance of 4 meters and 20 kilonewtons is at the end of the beam, that is at the distance of 5 meters, that is 4 plus 1, 5 meters. Therefore, the moments are 100 into 2, 200, RB into 4 plus 20 into 5, that is 100. RB into 4 is equal to 200 plus 300, that is 300. 200 plus 100 is equal to 300. Therefore, RB is equal to 300 by 4, that is 75 kilonewtons. We will get RB. Once we get RB, we will get the RA by using the first condition of equilibrium, that is RA plus RB is equal to W1 plus W2, that is RA plus RB is equal to 300. Therefore, RA is equal to 300. RA plus RB is equal to 120 minus RB is 75. The total load is 120. So 120 minus 120 minus 75 will give you 45 kilonewtons. Therefore, RA is 45 kilonewtons, RB is 75 kilonewtons. If you see, normally the load of 100 is shared between A and B equally. That is, it should be shared between A and B equally. But due to this moment, the distribution is affected. Therefore, the loads are 45 and 75 kilonewtons respectively. That is, RA is 45 and RB is 75 kilonewtons. We will see another problem, which is the overhang on two sides. That is, on both sides there is a overhang. Let us see another example in which the overhang is on both sides. So the total length of the beam is 6 meters. That is, from end to end it is 6 meters, including the overhangs. And The distance between the supports is 4 meters. The overhangs are 1 meter on each on either side. That is, the main distance between two supports is 4 meters, and the overhangs are 1 meter and 1 meter. There is the load of 100 kilonewtons, which is placed eccentrically between the supports, and there is one overhang, one load which is at the left overhang, and 20 kilonewtons at the overhang on the right side. So this is the problem where three loads are there. The one is at the between the supports, two loads are on the overhangs, and the distances are 3 meters. The load is from 3 meters from A. The one overhang load is to the left of A at 1 meter, and another overhang is to the right of B at 1 meter with 20 kilonewtons load. So here again our first step will be, what will be the total, what is the total load on the beam, we will find out. So simply by observation we can say there are three loads which are laid or which are applied on the beam, that is 100 and 30 and 20. 100 plus 30 plus 20 is 150 kilonewtons is the total load which is coming on the beam, which is applied on the beam. Those are external loads. Therefore, there are only two supports to carry these loads, that is RA and RB should carry this 150 kilonewton load. The loads are 100 kilonewtons. So how we solve, I will explain now, and in the later class we will be seeing in detail about that problem. Okay, now orally I'll explain how to calculate the loads and reactions. Since there are only three loads, RA plus RB should be equal to 100 plus 30 plus 20, that is 150 kilonewtons. Similarly, if we take moments at A, now it is important to note that this is how the loads are there. That is, let us see this small board, that is the loads are at 1 meter from RA A support, and this is the B support. So the loads are at 1 meters away from each support. Therefore, the total load is 30 plus 20 plus 100, that is 150 kilonewtons should be borne by RA and RB. Therefore, our reaction will be, the first equation will be RA plus RB is equal to 150. This will be our first equation, that is RA plus RB is equal to 150 will be our first reaction. Then also we will find the moment at A. So this 30 is on the left of the beam. So this 30 is moving the beam downwards, or it is turning in the anti-clockwise direction. That is why if we take moments at A, due to this 30 it is minus 30 into 1. This 30 is producing an anti-clockwise moment at A. Similarly, this 100 is producing a moment of 100 into 3, 300 in the clockwise direction. So it will be plus 100 into 3 meters, and also RB is producing from here. If we consider this RB is producing an anti-clockwise movement, that is minus RB into 4. This will be minus RB into 4 and another force is 20, that is 20 is turning the beam in clockwise direction, therefore it is 20 into 1 plus 4, that is 5 meters. 20 into 5 meters, this should be equal to 0. So now we have left with terms, that is moments, that is minus 30 into 1 which is anti-clockwise, 100 into 3 which is clockwise, 20 RB into 4 which is anti-clockwise, 20 into 5 will be in the clockwise direction, that is 2 clockwise forces and 2 anti-clockwise forces. So we have to sum them according to the algebraic sum. Therefore we should be careful about the direction of moments, that is the moment due to the forces which are coming from top on the right are producing clockwise movements, and the moment which is on the left coming from the top is producing anti-clockwise movement. So we should be clear with that concept, that is when the forces are acting, how in which direction the moments are produced. So for 100 kilonewtons is producing clockwise moment, 20 is producing clockwise movement, 30 is producing anti-clockwise, and also RB is producing anti-clockwise. Therefore we can say RB into 4 is equal to 100 into 3, 300 minus 20 into 500, or 300 plus 100 minus 30, that is 370. RB into 4 is equal to 370, so RB is equal to 370 by 4, 4 9s are 36, 10, 92.5. 92.5 kilonewtons will be RB, and RA will be equal to 57.5, that is 150 minus 92.5. This is how we will solve the problem. This problem we will be doing it in detail in the next session. So till then we will have an idea about how it is solved. So here the moment at A, if we take, that is minus 30 into 13, minus 30 into 1, 100 into 3, and RB into 4 plus 20 into 5. These are the 4 moments which are produced at A. So therefore RB into 4, if we shift this RB into 4 here, RB into 4 is equal to 100 into 3 plus 20 into 5 minus 30, that is RB into 4 is equal to 100 into 3, 300 plus 20 into 5, 500, that is 400 minus 30, that will be 370. Therefore RB into 4 is equal to 370 by 4, that is 92.5 kilonewtons. Therefore the RA will be equal to sum of these loads, that is 150 minus RB. RB is 92.5, so 150 to 150 minus 92.5 will give you 57.5 kilonewtons. The reactions will be 92.5 kilonewtons and 57.5 kilonewtons respectively. So this is how we will find the reactions of supports on overhang on both sides. In the next class we will see in detail about this problem. We will solve it. So till then, hope you understand the concept of how the reactions are found out from overhang beam. Simply it is similar to our simply supported beam. except that there will be some other movements which may be clockwise. If it is on the right of the support, it will be producing that overhang, that load at overhang will be producing clockwise movement. If it is near the overhang which is on the left of the support, it will be producing anti-clockwise movements. Those clockwise movements and anti-clockwise movements we have to take into consideration to get the actual reactions. That is how the trick lies. That is, we have to find the moments properly. We know how to find the moments earlier also, but we considered only moments on one side of the support. Now there is a moment on the other side of the support also. So on one side we are getting clockwise movements and an anti-clockwise movement due to reaction. On the other left side we will be getting some other anti-clockwise movement. So we have to add these movements according to their signs, then it is easy to solve the problem and the results will be correct. So with this, I'll conclude this session. We will meet in the next session with solution of this problem. Till then, have a nice day. Thank you. Thank you for being with me.